Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the AGM3. Just an announcement. Apnic EC voting is now closed. Results will be announced in this session later on. And we are just waiting for the session chair to join, so we will start soon. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah.
Gaurav, if you can hear me, it's over to you, Gaurav, please.
Thank you, Sunny. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had your lunch, dinner, and a break. We see continuous increasing number of participants. Welcome to the final session of the AGM. Well, there is some housekeeping notes there. You can ask questions during Q&A, or you can submit any questions throughout the session through the Q&A button. You can also use the chat window to continuously chat with the moderators and the panelists. And obviously, you must have received a warning about recording of the session. So I'll move on next and invite Joy Chan once again to report on the joint SIGs meeting.
Gaurav, let's move on to the next one while we... Joy just joined.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Sorry, Gaurav, please move on to the next one. We'll come back to Joy.
So the next one we have is Kenny Hong reporting about the IPv6 deployment sessions. Thank you. Kenny.
Okay, right. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Carol. Let me share my screen. Okay, thank you, everyone. Sorry for a delay. This is Kenny Huang. I'm going to introduce IPv6 deployment section, give you the section report. We run in the IPv6 deployment section on the 2nd of March, and we have 3 speakers. One from Jeff Houston is the first one from Apnic, and Bong, the second one from PLDT, a Philippine long distance telephone company. And we also have last one, Parash, from Nokia. He's introduced SRv6 technology and deployment user cases. So Jeff Houston usually giving IPv6 deployment status report, and he showed the IPv6 capable and preference in different country and different economy in Apnic region. And also given the global growth of IPv6 is much slower overall in 2020, about 3%, compared to 2019 has a 6% growth. But IPv6 growth has not slowed down in 2020 for many Asian economies. So second speaker was Bong from PLDT. He given an introduction IPv6 journey in PLDT. Introduce PLDT company and share his IPv6 address development plan, and also try to introduce how to test and implement, and also challenge and lesson learned from the IPv6 deployment within the PLDT. So that's the case study from PLDT. The last one with Parash. He introduced SRv6 technology and deployment use cases. And that would be a source-based routing protocol, and so let's steer IP traffic along specific paths. Segmented routing is a key to the future network design. So he also introduced SRv6 header, that's including IPv6 data plane encapsulation, and also share the user case of SRv6. So that would be all of the 3 speakers giving the presentation in IPv6 deployment. That's all my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny, very much. As usual, thanks for doing the IPv6 session. I've been doing this for many years. Sunny, is Joy ready to present, or should we move on to?
She just joined now, Gaurav.
Okay. So we are over to Joy presenting the joint SIG meeting report.
Okay, apologize, I'm a few minutes late. Okay, so on behalf of our SIG, there's 4 special interest groups that we are doing a guideline, and it's on the SIG election review. And on this meeting was held on the 3rd of March, Wednesday. So the recommendation for the SIG election, there's 3 things that we are telling our SIG elections review. 1 is that we are moving the SIG election online. 2 is that we are using the same online voting system, and that's as well as the Apnic EC and the annual election, and we are adopting the same criteria. So basically, these are the 3 things that we are telling people that we are recommending. So the summary was that we did a discussion on the SIG online election proposal, the process and the criteria. The slides will be published online for reference, and the Secretariat will update the SIG guideline and the operation and open for the editorial comments. And there's going to be the upcoming election on our next Apnic 52. There's the chair elections for the policy SIG, the NIR SIG, the cooperation SIG. And also the co-chair election is for the routing security SIG. And that's it. And thank you very much. And I want to give my great appreciation to Barad and Paul Wilson to help us throughout this 4 special interest group in the Apnic communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy, for driving this discussion. I think this would be of great interest to our community that we are updating the SIG guidelines. This is a very critical piece of community engagement for us. So I would encourage all our community members and those who participate in the policy making plus the SIGs to go review the guidelines, because I think the community leaders are also taking this opportunity to update the guidelines so that it is suitable for Corona type situation again, because I don't think we've had our SIG run completely virtual in the past. So highly encourage everyone to go look at the guidelines and discuss it on the mailing list. Thank you, Joy, once again. Now we move on to Katsuyasu Toyama-san from APIX.
Hi. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, Toyama-san, please go on.
Yep. So I'd like to share my screen. Oh, so please stop sharing. Yeah, thanks. Yep. So I will introduce the update about the APIX. So I'm the chairperson of APIX. And you know the APIX is an association of internet exchange providers in APAC region. And you know IX very well. Yeah, according to the PCH directory, we have 137 IXs in the APAC region. And why we need this kind of an association? Because we are doing the same business and we have almost the same kind of issues. So it's worth having an IXP community to share information, experiences, and to solve the issues about the internet exchange. Okay. So currently, APIX member is 33 from 18 countries. So comparing to the last year, 1 new member has joined. Okay, the new member is in the Cloud Exchange. They are in Indonesia. They have a pop in Jakarta and Denpasar. And also, we would like to announce that patron sponsors ISOC. So ISOC is very active in the peering or internet exchange community. So they are becomes our new patron sponsor. So thank you very much, so ISOC. And this is the current member. And not only the new member or Cloud Exchange, we'd like to mention that the Mumbai IX and the JBIX has been changed their name to DICX India and DICX Malaysia, respectively. And this is a trend of the members. So we are gradually increasing. And this is the history of the meeting. Okay, so this Monday, we have an APX meeting. Unfortunately, this is also a fully virtual meeting. And thank you very much, Apnic, for providing the Zoom. And we have two types of sessions. One is an administration about an APIX management. And the other one is an information sharing within a discussion within the IXP community. And this time, approximately 50 people have joined at maximum. And the topic I'll discuss in the admin session is like this, okay? So, and the topic discussed in the technical session is like this. So, how Hurricane Electric picks a new internet exchange. That in this very informative for IXPs, how to increase the customers. And also, how ISOC and APIX had a joint project. The report has been there at this time. And also, we discussed about an RPKI or a new technology of an SDN kind of internet exchanges, and also a deployment in root servers. And achievement from the previous meeting, which was held in September, as I mentioned, we have one new member increased and one new patron sponsor. And also we did the study and the research project within ISOC. And also we have an Peering Asia, the virtual or peering forum this time. So I've briefly explained that. Yeah, so the Peering Asia is an open and a neutral peering forum in the APAC region. And we did 3 forums so far. And 4.0, the fourth one, has planned in Bangkok in person in November 2020, but unfortunately it postponed to next year due to the COVID. So to fill the gap between the event, so we plan to a fully virtual event, Peering Asia 3.5B. And that was held in November. And we got 267 peering persons from 128 ASN in the networks participants. So it wasn't a very big success, even if it's virtual. Okay, so a lot of the peering related discussion has been held there. And going back to the APIX, we have our current outstanding issues are described here. So we need more APIX members. And also we need to improve our platform. And next to research with an ISOC and relationship with an IX Federation. And we also have a need to have a legal entity. So these are still the outstanding issue and continuously discussed. And the most important topic this time is in the steering committee election. So as just by this meeting, so these are the steering committee members. The APX is run by these 5 steering committee members. And this time, 3 SC members expired their terms of office. So Tom, Rupesh, Vivin, they finished their term. And this time, we had 3 nominees, Apshi, Vijay, and Masataka. Those guys are on the vote of confidence, and they all 3 are approved. So from now, we are having these are the 3. These are the new steering committee members, and we are doing the continuously manage the APIX. So we appreciate Tom, Rupesh, and Vivian for their contributions, great contributions, and welcome Apshi, Masataka, and welcome back, Vijay. And the next APIX meeting is planned September. Originally, it is planned to have in Sapporo, Japan, collocated to the Apnic 52, but it will probably, it may be a virtual again. Yeah, thank you very much. Any questions? And if no questions, yeah, thank you very much, Apnic, all the time from the beginning. Thank you.
I think thank you to Emma-san and the APIX community for being together with Apnic from day one.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I think this year the APIX also put together most of the peering forum program.
Yep.
So congratulations on a very successful one.
Yep. Thank you very much.
And we would love to continue hearing from you about how the peering community is adjusting to the new reality.
Yeah.
Because I believe that community is very much handshake and face-to-face interaction. And so thank you very much to APIX.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much. Always thank you very much for Apnic and your support. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you to Emma-san. This is now Q&A time. We have 15 minutes of dedicated Q&A time before the election chair will be ready with the voting results. So I would open the mic. Please go and ask questions on the Q&A. You can ask questions about anything from this morning or this afternoon, including to the EC, towards the Secretariat, or any of the SIGs, or anything that is you might want to bring up from the members. If not, then I was actually I'm going to put some of our EC members on the spot here. I was going to ask Mas-san to talk about the most recent JANOG, which I believe was done in a hybrid way. Or did you not do it hybrid, Mas-san? What happened?
No, actually, the most recent one was an online virtual event. The one before the recent one was the hybrid one. That was July last year. And then we had the virtual event this January. And we saw about 2,000 registrations. And then people joining remotely via Zoom webinar and YouTube streaming. The maximum number was about 800. So that was a big event. And still thinking, how can we coordinate the social event? Actually, I enjoyed the PHNOG social this time. So we should have the similar one at JANOG.
Any of our community members have anything to add? Or I was going to ask Archie as well to see if there has been any community activities in the Philippines, either in the run-up to Apricot or before that.
Yeah, in terms of community events, I think it was the virtual PHNOG, which was the last one. It probably became most awaited event because some of the guys are actually wanting to have some interactions. Although it was planned to be a physical event, Eventually, it turned out to be a virtual. At first, we had second thoughts on doing a virtual. Honestly, we had no idea how to do it. So what we did was we did some background work. The previous online events of other NOGs and other conferences, especially the networking from home, was a big break. So we tried to really participate, and it might sound in a bad way, practice on those events, but yeah, it's the learnings that makes the future engagement better. And part of that was actually to integrate what we have on a physical event with the virtual. So we tried to squeeze in everything with a 5-hour session that includes the normal conferences. Of course, we can't do the raffle. We have that, the group photo, the socials, of course. And one thing that we tried to push, I think it was the first NOG of the year to do the peering personals. So that idea came about because we had another chat group with other NOGs, and let's try to have a virtual peering personals, because that was the one missing in other events, and we tried to pull that off. I think it went successfully well at some point. The attendees more or less stayed throughout the event, and we assume they stayed throughout of the event because of the good program, of course, but more importantly, there was a raffle at the end. There was a 55-inch TV that there was a raffle at the end, so I think everybody got crazy about that. So I'm not saying that should be the way to work. It's a work in progress, actually. You can say that's the perfect formula. Every economy, everywhere there's a different challenge, which was part of the discussion during the NOG reports yesterday. And we probably play this by ear moving forward. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think that I agree with that sentiment in the end. We did have one question from Ron about how about overall. Do you think the effectiveness of the virtual sessions have gone this time around? It's hard to judge as a participant. I think, Ron, it's still difficult to say. From my own perspective, we evaluated Apnic 50 the last meeting, and our assessment was like it was relatively successful given the conditions we were in. And I think we will know, well, Apricot is much larger event, and it will probably know what will happen. What I have seen in general is it seems like we get a lot higher registration, and the general attendance seems to hover around 1/3 to 1/4 in terms of people actually attending. But maybe people are only attending a select portion of the program that is relevant to them and not attending others. But yeah, I agree, Ron, that it's difficult. And I also can, understand that being in the U.S. East Coast, it's not easy to participate in an event in APAC time zone, and so on. I have had really difficult time participating in the right meetings because it becomes like really early in the morning for me. So I think we'll get our virtual jet lag, so to say, and to have to deal with that. We still have around 6 minutes. I would actually going to ask Suman Bhai. I saw some pictures about an event in Bangladesh last week. Can you put some light to that?
Yeah, thank you, Gaurav. Actually, that like others, we are also doing all the events virtual, and looking towards the Japan community about policy discussion, that we thought that we can have similar kind of activities here in Bangladesh, because we need more people to think about the policy development processes, and we got a good response from the community, and those interested, they joined, they shared their feedbacks, there's good discussions. So something new we are trying. And another thing I should talk about, that the virtual things like last BDNOG events also virtual. And one challenge is that it's become difficult for someone to attend all the sessions. Usually in physical meeting, what you can do easily, but in virtual, with if you're at home, that there is some family issues. If you're in the office, then balancing these two is getting difficult. And we are getting a huge support for having next BDNOG physical, but I don't know. It also depends on the situation, and we need to consider the health and safety security factors of the participants. But we're still hoping for a physical event during May sometime this year. But it depends on how it goes.
Thank you, Sumon. Looks like we have Xian Chuan waiting to ask a question. And is that Paul? Did you raise your hand, or was that someone else?
Yeah, I raised my hand. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm Jen Chuan from ICANN APAC space, APAC office. But you know, I'm not an IP guy, so it's just for personal observation, personal curiosity. So I listen some sessions, and also in my daily observation, I had a feeling that although some places have seen significant IPv6 deployment growth, some places may not. So my personal observation is that the IPv4 and the v6 coexistence seems to be a case for a long time. So personally, I just want to ask, do you see the coexistence of IPv4 and the v6 a challenge for the IP community or opportunity for IP community? Or do you think it doesn't matter, you just let the industry take the course naturally? So just my personal curiosity. Thank you.
Thank you, Xian. Paul, you raised your hand as well, so let's get your comment and then I can respond back to Xian, or I let one of our EC members respond to that.
Yeah, look, I think it's good to see you, Jen Chuang. That's a really interesting question. What we're having a hard time achieving is to have the investment made to extend networks to network capability to IPv6, because it's an extra cost to run IPv6 and IPv4. But we might be able to turn that around at one point, because the extra cost of running IPv4 when you don't need to run it anymore is going to be an issue for people to deal with. So the tipping point where IPv4 is no longer needed could result in a very quick abandonment of v4 by many people who won't want to keep supporting it. And in fact, even if it means cutting off a few legacy services and a few legacy users who are still relying on IPv4, then there'll be providers who will make a decision that they will stop supporting IPv4. I think the big guessing game is, you know, how quickly that tipping point will come and when. The comment I was going to make last time, before Garab, was actually a question, because a question that we have at the Secretariat that we're going to try to answer this year is what would be, in terms of sustaining online participation, the way we've been talking about with NOGs just now, what would be the best platform for us to try and develop and use as an online platform for Apnic community to communicate together? I think having a really good platform could help the online events to happen really well. It could help to link us together much better than we get through mailing lists, which really aren't very successful. And so the question is, when all of us use social media and we do a lot of communication in a sort of social sense and even in a professional sense, what's the best way to find a common platform that we could actually kind of all agree to use and to tailor to the needs of the community? That was the question I was going to ask.
I think I'll take that discussion. Also, open invitation for our participants to comment on the chat room, please. Or raise your hand and we'll see if the operator can promote you to be able to use in the microphone. I don't know, anyone would want to take a comment on Paul's question there from the EC here?
Someone said TikTok.
If not, then I'll take a stab at that. I think both the earlier thing about V6, I think V6 is important, and I think I agree with Paul there. We've been doing V6 for far too long, and I think I personally see that the consumer side is actually doing V6 a lot more than we realize, whereas it looks like the enterprise world is sort of stuck in the old ways. Maybe there is some vendor resistance, or maybe there is some, or it is working, why mess with it feeling there. So we'll probably see that converge gradually as more and more applications become V6 native. And we'll probably see, V4 space is getting scarce, and scarce is not easy to come by. So we'll see that, but again, I think it'll be some time. One of the things that we proposed to the Secretariat, we had, like the EC has meetings with the 6 chairs, is we would most likely create a forum for all the community leaders in the Asia Pacific to join together in a virtual consultation sometime soon. And that would include all of our 6 chairs plus invited guests like the APIX board members and other NOGs, that we will most likely run a session on how do we measure the effectiveness, how do we make our online virtual consultations more effective and more, do not lose the sense of community. And so you will likely hear about it sooner or later. And also for those community leaders that operate NOGs in the region, APIX, peering forums. I think we all know you. We've all worked with you in the past. So please keep a lookout for an email from someone in our Apnic team that will reach out, and we will do something about it. Because I think we have 1 year of experience now with virtual events, and the expectation is that we are not going to see a real event fully in-person event this year. But there is also a realization that all of our future events are going to be in one way or other hybrids, more than anything else. So the hybrid format is what will be the future. I think that's what we've already taken for granted, that in the past, online interaction was an optional thing, but in future that will be as equivalent as the face-to-face event. Maz-san, you have something to add?
Oh yeah, the tool side, the virtual for the virtual conference. So yeah, there are a bunch of the different tools available now, but definitely we need to consider our region. We have many diversity. So some people have limited resources like computer resources and bandwidths. So if we pick one of the tools, then that should work with such a limited resources situation as well. So not only the usability and the quality, but also we need to consider such situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Maz. I've just been informed that the Honorable Election Chair is, Lito is ready with the election results. So over to you, Lito.
Can you hear me, gentlemen?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on, I'm just again accessing the results. Okay. So I'm happy to say that the election results are here with me. Okay. And I'm happy to say that there have been no disputes brought up. I've also been advised by the scrutineers, John Sweeting and Samina Makran, that they witnessed the vote downloading process and there were no issues or anomalies to report. Everything went well. So I'm going to announce the results and the corresponding votes. So the following are ranked by votes. So this is arranged in numerical order from the top number of votes. Okay. At number 1, receiving 2,612 votes is Feng Leng. At number 2 is with 2,605 votes is Yoshinobu Matsusaki. At number 3 is Gaurav Raj Upadhyaya with 2,567 votes. At number 4 is Kenny Huang with 1,759 votes. Coming in at number 5 with 755 votes is Mohammad Shuzanur Rahman. And number 6 is Rob Thomas with 202 votes. And at number 7 is Dewang Goyal with 195 votes for a total of 10,695 votes. That means that the nominees who were successfully elected to the Apnic Executive Council are Feng Leng, Yoshinobu Matsusaki, Gaurav Raj Upadhyaya, and Kenny Huang. Congratulations to Feng Leng, Yoshinobu Matsusaki, Gaurav Raj Upadhyaya, and Kenny Huang. So thank you very much. It's been an honor providing this service as election chair for Apnic 2021. I will now pass the mic back to the chair of the Apnic Executive Council, Gaurav Upadhyaya. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lito. Hopefully we will see you when we actually come to Manila and shake our hands when that is possible. Thank you very much. Thank you also to all the voters for voting us.
Let me know.
I'm pretty sure Achi will organize a social where we can all get together when you are in Manila. Having said that, thank you to the election chair. Also, thank you very much to the scrutineers and all the others who participated in making the election a successful effort. Thank you very much. Looks like we have a question here. I think we had a question just before we ended earlier. So
it was from Rob Thomas, Gaurav.
Oh yeah, so Rob, are you there? Have you promoted him, Sunny? Okay, Rob, over to you.
Rob, please unmute and you can speak.
Unmute. There we go. All right. Okay, now it's working. Sorry about that. I was actually upstairs. You were talking about collaboration platforms, and one of the very common open source ones is Jitsi. It's multi-homed. It is regionally diverse. It's also fully open source. Sorry, I literally had to come running back. I just thought I'd mention that. That's a really useful open source thing, and we're not then reliant on Zoom, which is a closed platform, blah, blah, blah. Sorry about that. That was it. That was the end of my statement.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you, Rob. Also, thank you for participating in the elections. Hope we'll see more of you in the events and in the community. We always need more participation from our community, and always glad to see, new faces, I would say. So we move on to the next section, which is about the vote of thanks.
Hey, Gaurav, sorry to interrupt. We have two more raised hands, Duncan and Simon Shohel Baroi.
Okay, we're going to start running short of time. So yeah, the final two, you get a minute each. Duncan, and then Simon.
Duncan is dropped, but Simon is still up there.
Okay, Simon, 1 minute, please.
Yeah, congratulations. This is Simon from Bangladesh. Asking this question in my personal capacity. This time in the election, we found some of the information is given by the nominees, which are not at all correct or truth. Like they mentioned about the board experience in some of the great organizations like ICANN, IANA, IGF, ISOC, Apnic. These are sort of like that. So my question is that whether there is any kind of scrutining policy or justification policy from the Apnic Secretariat that they will justify that whether they are not in the board or not, or the information is given by the nominees are truth or not. If it is not truth, what is the policy in the Apnic? Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. I think I'm going to defer these questions to our legal counsel. Craig, are you there? Or I would say that we've taken note of this, and then we'll have Craig contact you directly, Simon. Oh, I see Craig now. Craig, you want to get that?
Thanks, Gaurav. Simon, we don't do due diligence on the statements that are made at the moment. In fact, one of the things that we are considering doing is for the EC to consider some sort of due diligence measures that are done in kind of like what is done in ICANN. So at the moment, the answer is that we don't do the due diligence, and we basically just allow people to post what they claim. But we will look at this. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Craig. Definitely something to look at. So I'll let the legal counsel take it into consideration and follow up with Simon directly, and let us know what comes of it. Thank you very much. I will move on to the next one because Duncan is gone. Duncan leads the Apnic Foundation, and I was pretty sure he had things to add, but I would encourage all our members to go look at the website of the foundation and all the activities they are pursuing towards the internet development in the region. So I'll move on to the next stage, which is Paul. You're up for a vote of thanks.
I do believe I have it. I have it here. And I need to share my screen, which is right here. So this is my last duty on each of the AGMs to express thanks to all the folks who have been in making success. Firstly, we have sponsors directly for this event, for the AGM, and this time around, and I think these three are traditional and long-time sponsors. So thanks not just for today, but for all the AGMs for quite a number of years. CNNIC, JPNIC, and TWNIC have all contributed to help to make this particular event a success. Thank you very much for your ongoing support to all three: CNNIC, JPNIC, TWNIC. All of the community members who step up to play special roles. Policy SIG Chair and Co-Chair are Bertrand and Xingheng. NIR SIG Chair and Co-Chair Billy and Shenyu. Cooperation SIG, Joy and Bikram. Routing Security SIG, the new SIG, Aftab Dimar and Rupesh. Thank you very much I think the SIGs this week have been very active, very interesting, and we even had a few out of band events that all of you were involved with in preparing for this event. It all takes time out of your busy schedules, and it's really very much appreciated that you step up and help to bring the community together on these important topics. Lito Averia of PH Cert, thank you very much for helping us as the election chair today. John and Smahena from Aaron and RIPE NCC for helping as scrutineers in the election. Thanks to all Apnic election nominees and participants. A smooth election is a very good thing for the Apnic community. Thank you all for helping that to happen. Congratulations to the elected and re-elected EC members, very sincerely. We had a program committee for Apricot and for the Apnic sessions. Thank you so much again for your time, your personal time out of your busy schedules. To all the speakers and moderators who also helped. We did have steno captioning again from Nikki and Catherine here. This event actually is probably more effort than people from outside the community might think. It can be just as much effort to run the online event as a face-to-face, and so for the EC members, the Apnic staff members, RIR colleagues, guests, thank you all for making the special effort to make this online event a success, as well, of course, as everyone who attended. I've got a special announcement now that this is in advance of the next meeting, that even though we're working online, fellowships are back, and new for 2021, at least for Apnic 52 coming up, we will have an online fellowship program for the online Apnic 52 event. So that's actually going to have quite a few components, events in the run-up to Apnic 52. Once the fellows are selected for the event, we'll have a schedule of presentations for the fellows. We'll be offering and encouraging participation in the Apnic Academy in a selected course stream. We'll have Apnic community mentors helping and available to bring the fellows selected for Apnic 52 up to speed. So there'll be quite a few things, maybe even, I think, a stipend to help with some of the expenses that might be involved with participating. And of course, a certificate of achievement. So there will be applications opening, and those applications close towards the end of March. So please keep an eye out for that. It's a preview of something that's happening in Apnic 52. From me, please do stay in touch and stay safe. You can at least stay in touch, if not safe, by visiting the blog and Apnic Social. And yeah, please seriously do. I hope everyone is looking after themselves very well this time. See you at Apnic 52, and back to you, Gaurav.
Thank you, Paul. I've been doing a lot of speaking today, so I'll make this short. I re-emphasize that this is a tough time. Everybody has a different situation. Everywhere it's a tough spot to be in. Some places have managed to control it a lot better than others. But our encouragement is stay safe, and we'll always have a future meeting to look up to. Having said that, also really good work on the part of Paul and his senior team. This is around the time in our physical meeting we would ask all our Apnic staff member in the room to stand up, and we applaud for their work. On Zoom, that is a bit more not easy to pull off, but I would still like to thank all of the folks in the secretariat that work behind the scene in making this possible. Too difficult for me to name all names, but the comms team, the events team, the technical team, all all of you have put a lot of work into this. So thank you very much to the Secretariat and the staff who makes this happen. Also, something about the Apnic 52, Paul just mentioned it. Earlier this year, or I guess it was last year. Oh, there you are. Thank you very much to the technical team there and the backend support for the Apnic. Big applause for you all there. So a quick note about Apnic 52. As I hinted earlier, we made an announcement together with the Apricot board that we are going to pause our rotation system. For the last many years, I think more like 6 years now, we have followed a rotation pattern of events. We go from one sub-region to the other sub-region within our region. Like an event in South Asia is followed by an event in North Asia, and then we go to Oceania, and then we go to Southeast Asia, and the rotation keeps on happening. And then, 18 months, and then Apnic and Apricot are 18 months apart in the same region. So there is a good cycle of it happening. Now, when we went online with Bangladesh, we realized that it would not be fair for the folks in South Asia to have to wait 4 years because of no fault of them. And at the same time, if it was a one-off, it was okay saying that, okay, Apricot will be in 18 months. But right now it seems like even that won't be possible. So we agreed to do a pause. When we resume it, the first Apricot that will be face-to-face is always going to be in Manila. And then we'll just resume the cycle from there. And until then, we're going to just have virtual meeting or an hybrid of sorts. So the next meeting will be virtual. If things improve, then maybe we go to a more hybrid version, but we'll have to assess how that hybrid looks like and whether we'll have physical presence somewhere or we'll completely not have it. Given our current travel restrictions that are pretty widely prevalent, I think we'll go virtual, and we'll most likely have to convene together only in 53, which will be in, hopefully be in Manila back there. So that is about Apnic 52. You hear a little bit about this in the next session as well, in the closing of the Apnic Apricot plenary. That on that, those are the three things I had to say. And then also, we had a lot of interesting talks on RPKI during the week. One of our speakers made a very something that I was thinking too, is that while the previous year, 2019, 18, 19, 20, we did a lot of ROAS, I think 21 is going to be the year of origin validation as more and more people pick that up. And that is a big challenge for us as an RIR, because the RIR services have always been best offered. Whereas when people start doing origin validation in a serious way, it can have operational impact. And providers and ISPs and networks will start looking at more stricter SLAs around how we respond to those outages when people can't validate ROAS and suddenly you lose connectivity to the internet. So that will be a challenge. That is something we should work on this year. The routing security SIG has started talking about it. So I encourage all of you to participate in the SIG and bring those up, because there are many unknowns that we need to address. And it is best that we discuss more about it in the SIG before we make some decisions on it. We've asked the Secretariat to look at how we can provide enhanced support, and you'll continue to hear about that from us. Having said that, I think we don't have any housekeeping announcements. As I said, this is generally the group photo and a selfie time. So I got a selfie stick in honor of Achi. I'll ask all the EC members to stay around for a Zoom group photo at the end of this. But for all the participants, thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much for all the contribution. We still have one more sessions for the Apricot. There is a closing plenary. You should, once this Zoom session ends, you can go and join that Zoom session. It starts in roughly 30 minutes. Is that right, Sonny?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Yeah, the closing plenary of Apricot is at 15 minutes past the hour, UTC -8. So in roughly 20 minutes. So you should go there and we'll have the close word of thanks there. Once again, thank you very much. And I declare the Apnic 51 AGM as closed. EC members, please stay on board for a group photo. Thank you. Achi, you can take the photo. Yeah,
I'm just preparing the screen. Oh, Max has the camera.
Well, my camera is over there.
Yeah, this will do. It's a Zoom. Okay. First, with the faces. 1, 2, 3, smile. Back up. Just to be sure. One more back up. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, about your whatever shot you like, the one with the mask camera and everything.
Maybe we should all get a mask.
What?
Get a mask.
I don't have a mask there now. 1, 2, 3. Hey, we're good. Gonna send this.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks to you, Yue Dong.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Dom.
Yeah.